You guys are so far away. I don't feel a connection with you. Come a little bit closer. Come on. No? Okay.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. I'm so excited to be back, as I say like literally all of the time in every video, but it's because I am and I missed you guys and I'm hi, how are you? So today is a super exciting video because once again we are going to be talking about screenwriting. You guys seem to really like the screenwriting vlogs and the screenwriting videos that I put up, so I'll definitely put up some more if you would like. But today's video is actually inspired by one of you guys, Mel Blanc. I don't speak French. You're probably not even French, unless you are, which that's really cool. But thank you, Mel, for requesting this video. He said, can you please do a tutorial on how to write scripts like the structure, please? And I totally get that. I barely knew anything about screenwriting when I went into it, and I'm still learning. I'm obviously not like a Golden Globe winning screenwriter, not yet. Soon, but not yet. And so I definitely had to watch YouTube videos and like read books on how to screenwrite and the format of everything. So I definitely will help you out there. And this is what this video is. Basically, I'm going to be talking about script structure and how to write a script and all of the formats that you can use for that and everything. So I thought for this kind of video, I would basically go through some plots that I have written on my phone and try to come up with a little bit of a short story or a short film so that I can show you how my writing process is and how I write my scripts. So the four main things that you need to know before you get into script writing or screenwriting are your interior and exterior, or your setting, your characters, your dialogue, and your action. Those are the four main plot points when it comes to screenwriting or any type of movie writing. So before any of the elements of plot or characters or just storytelling, you have to know those four main formats. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I have my trusty dusty, I don't know why I always say trusty dusty. It's not, I mean it is dusty. But I have my MacBook here where I'm going to show you guys how I write, and I'm going to screen record everything so you can see. So I use Final Draft for my movie writing and screenwriting. I love it a lot. It's about $200. I don't know if it's still $200, so don't quote me, but when I bought it, it was about $200, and it may seem like a lot at first, but once you have it, it's a great tool to have. I used to use celtx.com, which was an online screenwriting software, but I feel like with Final Draft, you can just use this anywhere, and it's so convenient and it's so easy to use. Basically, you can press certain keys and it will take you from character to dialogue to action to settings in just seconds. So it's a really great software, and I really highly recommend it. Most screenwriters do use this, as far as I've heard. But let me know if you know of any others like way more affordable screenwriting softwares, and leave it in the comment section below so that other people can see it as well. So now that I talked about basically what I use and the four main points that you have to understand before you start your script, I'm going to show you how I actually put that into a structure. So the first thing that we start with is the setting and where your scene is going to take place. Before I do this, I just want to go into my notes so that I can find a plot or a story that we can write about. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so I have like a whole bunch of notes on my phone of movie ideas and screenwriting ideas that I'd like to write, or that I can use just as like a practice assignment for myself. So this one says, a couple who met online is going to meet each other for the first time. I feel like this is a very simple one. It has been done before, but I feel like it's a very simple one and we can have a lot of fun with it. So we're gonna do that plot. So for the first scene setup, I'm going to write out where it's taking place. This is obviously very important because when you are filming, the whole entire crew and the whole entire staff has to basically take that script and they have to turn it into their own, depending on what field or what job they're in. So the costume designer, visual effects person, but especially the setup crew, that is very important that you have the actual location and setting of the place. So when you start, you're going to put interior for inside, or you can do exterior for outside. And usually the short terms for that are just INT and EXT. Your location and setting are always going to be capitalized. Every single letter is going to be capitalized because this is basically one of the most important parts of your script. So for this, we're going to start out with a girl and a guy who are chatting online, and they're going to get together to go meet each other for the first time. So I'm going to start out with the girl's perspective, and so we're going to start out in her room. So basically I would put interior, let's call her Lana, Lana's room, and then I like to put a dash here. I don't know if many screenwriters do that, but I like to put a dash here to separate the time of day. So you have your location and then you have the time of day. So usually you can put morning or nighttime, or you can put day or night, anything that distinguishes what time of day it is. So we're gonna do nighttime because I just feel like that's more cozy. So the cool thing about Final Draft is if you hit enter, it will give you all of the letters that you can press in order to go on to the next part of your script. So for instance, if I just wanted to do action, I would just hit enter A. If I wanted to do a character, I would just do enter C. And then it would take me right to the middle of the page, which is where your character name goes. However, I'm just gonna go back to action just because I wanna put a little bit of action in there. So Lana is set up at her desk. The room is dark, and only the light from her computer illuminates her face. Sorry if my writing is like very sketchy. Obviously, this is the first draft. So a chat box is open with a boy named, and I'm gonna call him Tyler. Now, I actually skipped this in the beginning, which I'm not supposed to do, but anytime you're introducing a character, so anytime it's the first time that a character comes on scene, you want to capitalize their name in the action part of the script. So Lana should be capitalized, same thing with their last name. And if you want to add a description too, you can, if it's relevant to the story. So let's say you can put her age, let's say she's 22. You can, I'm not going to, but you can even put things like attractive or just the type of person that they are if it's relevant to the story. You don't need to do this with everyone. You don't need to describe every single person because again, that's up to the casting directors and the people who end up being your characters. So a chat box is open with a boy named Tyler, so we're going to capitalize his name as well, and we can put his age, let's say 23. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have them kind of go back and forth in scenes when they're talking in the chat boxes, and I'll kind of explain that as I'm going through. It's kind of hard to like explain what you're doing while you're writing. It's so weird. So I'm gonna have a voiceover going on to kind of explain what their thinking processes are as they are writing. So let's put Lana types, and then I'll do Lana. Then after I do that action, I'm just gonna hit enter C. Enter C, and then that will take me right to the middle of the page, which is where you will start writing your character's dialogue. You'll enter the name, and then this is going to be a voiceover. So for any kind of voiceover, you're going to put VO. This also applies to when a character is speaking off screen, like the camera is not directly pointed at them, but they're still talking. You would put OS for off screen, and there's many different ways of illustrating what a character is doing, and I would encourage you to go read up on it or watch videos on it because I can't get all of it in this one video. This is just kind of the basics of what I've learned so far and what I think is pretty cool. Here I'm just going to signify that her voiceover is going to match up to the typing, so you can do that by putting that into parentheticals. So you just hit enter P, and then and then we'll go straight into the dialogue. All right, so, hey, you're brave, aren't you? So now it's time for Tyler's reply. So I'm going to now switch to his scene where he's going to be. So let's put him in a coffee shop because, you know, why not? Because we're hipster and cool. It feels like a perfect night to dress up like hipsters. Sorry. So we're just gonna do interior cafe and make it night, obviously, because they have to be in the same time zone if they're gonna be meeting. So nighttime. And then I don't have to capitalize Tyler's name because we already introduced him in the first scene. Tyler smiles at his computer. Oh, so cliche. He ponders for a second. Tyler, voiceover. And we're gonna put that in parentheticals. What can I say? No, let's do Why waste time if you don't have to? Winky face. It's cute. I'm already falling in love with him. He sends. And then now I want to show that there's a different, I want to show that the scene is going back and forth. So here it gets a little bit difficult. I did learn this a while ago. I'm not sure if it's completely correct, but it's worked for me so far. So I just put intercut between, and this is under an action tab, intercut between interior, Lana's room, oops, night, and interior cafe, night. And now when I go ahead and continue to write their dialogue, it's going to cut between each scene, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. They usually do this as well when somebody's on the phone with someone. So take any kind of like chick flick where the girl will be on her phone with one of her friends and just gossiping about this guy. But they'll do that. They'll intercut between both scenes so that the person editing or the person directing the shot knows that it's going to be back and forth and not just like one person the whole time, like in Memento.
DC on the track, boy.
All right, and I think I'm going to end this scene here. Okay, so sorry about that. My camera stopped recording for a second because my SD card was full and I forgot to, delete the stuff on there. Anyways, that is obviously a very badly written script, I feel like, but it was just for purposes of this video. From here on out, it's basically the same exact thing. The average movie script is about 120 pages, so it's obviously very quick to write if you stick with it in comparison to like a novel. I shouldn't say like it's quick to write because it's really not. Like it's really hard to write scripts, but in comparison to like a novel or like an actual like essay or anything like that, it's very simple. And that's what I love about screenwriting and about movie writing, is how you don't have to describe everything, because that's left up to the actors and the, actual movie itself. But from here on out, it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's just interior or exterior, the location, the time of day, action, character, dialogue, and it continues like that. There are many different other ways of explaining how a certain location is set up. For example, if you're in a car, it would not just be interior. You can put it as interior, but sometimes it's labeled as interior exterior because sometimes the camera is getting a shot of obviously the outside of the car and the inside of the car at the same time. So just, read up on it and kind of try to find what works for you and how you describe your movie making. It's a lot more simple when you're an indie filmmaker and you can kind of write your own scripts because you're going to be directing them and you can understand your own writing. It's a lot different when you're with a network or a production company who kind of calls the shots a little bit more. And even more so if you're a TV writer. There's like way more rules there as well. Obviously, again, I just want to say I am not a professional yet by any means. And so this is just what's worked for me and what I've learned so far and what I kind of want to share with you guys. Thank you again, Mel, for requesting this video. It was a super awesome video to film and I hope that it did help you a little bit. And I hope it helped some of you guys out there as well who are not Mel. But thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any more requests for any kinds of videos, make sure you put it in the comment section below so that I know what you guys want to watch and so that I can, come up with video ideas, because sometimes this noggin doesn't work so well. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up so I need to make more additional content like this, and don't forget to subscribe down below. It's raining really hard. We love it. What was I saying? And don't forget to click the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time that I upload a video. You know the drill. Also, I am missing a nail. who cares, right? I do. Thank you guys again for watching. I am so glad that I get to make these videos for you guys and that you guys get to watch it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!